Hi, welcome back to my channel and another weekly reading vlog. If you're new, I'm Katie. Welcome to another bookish adventure. So we are starting off Thursday in a very good place. Today at lunch I finished Tower of Dawns. I'm very happy. I was a little bit worried that it was going to take me over into the weekend, but I had decided that if that was the case, then I would try and finish at home because it would just be so pointless me taking it to work on Saturday. So very happy. I've started off very good. So I would say I'd give it 3 stars. I mean, for character like development wise and all that stuff, I mean, then yeah, we are giving it all the stars, but the plot was just lacking. So I do plan to do an actual review on it, which will be Monday's video. I did really enjoy it and it was really good, but it was so different from the other books and I had a lot of expectations and what I hoped to happen, so I will cover that. So continuing on with this week, I will be reading Delirium by Lauren Oliver. That will now become my main read. I'm literally only on page 42. I'm not very far in it at all, so because I literally just started it at the weekend, but that's fine. I am looking forward to kind of sinking my teeth into it a bit more. Like I said, I don't really do dystopian, but I like the idea of it, so I'm not going to go into it too much. But just to recap, if you haven't seen last week's reading vlog, Delirium is set in a world where they have identified as love as a disease, and at a certain age, I think it's 18, you get cured of this disease and you go through various evaluations, and basically your life is pretty much plotted out for you. You get given a list of potential husbands and they decide how many kids you'll have, so you at least get to pick your husband. But I really like the idea of it. I like the premise of it, this idea that this disease is just kind of running rampant in you. Teenage years are the worst years because you are so hormonal and everything is just far more dramatic, and the hurt of heartbreak is just 10 times more stronger. So it is quite interesting. Yeah, they can't get it done at a young age because it throws up problems with side effects and potential death and stuff. But yeah, it is I like how they have sort of brainwashed people, I guess, into this whole it's dangerous, we must be vigilant, you know. People are like they've identified that this is the reason why wars happened and why a lot of mental illnesses and stuff happened and other illnesses. They've basically just singled it out that love is the problem and they are gonna get rid of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting on with that properly. It's not very big, so I hope to get quite far. I'm obviously not going to finish it by the end of January because that would be a small miracle, but I am really looking forward just getting into it more. So I'm gonna sign off now because I am so tired, it is ridiculous, and also I'm going out for dinner later, so I just want to sit back and relax for a little bit and kind of recharge and then figure out what the hell I'm gonna wear before I have to go back out. But yeah, I'm just suddenly ridiculously exhausted, but looking forward to dinner. Happy Saturday. It is another check-in day. I read some more today at work. I'm not in love with the writing style. It might just be because it's very teenage sounding when I read it in my head. However, I am just so in love with how she thinks about the disease. It is really just quite something, and the more I read it, the more I am just really just being like wanting to be immersed in this just weird and scary world. So yeah, they've just celebrated Independence Day, but it is independence of when they closed off their borders. So I can't remember if I said before, I think I may have been saying this to someone at work actually. Yeah, they can't travel between states, like that's it, you stay where you are, and I think you have to get written permission. It is just so bizarre, and it's one of these things like I never thought about the fact of obviously having this love part of their brain just cut out of them. They obviously don't care for their children and stuff, and it's things like that I didn't think of until she mentioned it, and it's more stuff like that. And she's now been reflecting on her childhood and that when her mum was alive it wasn't mandatory at that point, so people were escaping because they didn't want the cure. So in her case, her mum never had it or it was unsuccessful, so her childhood memories are of a mother that loves her and a mother who wanted them to have fun growing up and just really nice stuff, but they had to do it behind closed doors because people in the street, you know, they're constantly being surveillanced. It's just, yeah, I really like it. It's such a weird world, but I really like it, and I'm getting more and more like, okay, and now it's not going where I thought it was either. It's seeming her friend is very much like doubting everything. It's just, I like it. Hey, so I am changed. It is a little bit later on and Gavin is here. So we're heading out for some food and then we're going to the cinema. We're going to go see Bad Boys 3. Have you even seen the first 2?
Yeah, I think so. I think one of them anyway.
I'm not 100%. I think I've finally seen 2 of them. I think my friends found out that I'd never seen them, so we watched them both. But if I'm gonna be honest, I got nothing. The only thing I remember is when one of them's daughter goes on a date and the boy turns up to pick her up. That's about all I got. But I'm assuming they have nothing to do with the first 2 and it will totally be fine. Hey, so I'm currently in Gavin's car. He's about to go sort out the buns. He's gonna go sort out the bunnies real quick because we are on a time time frame because we're gonna go see Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman tonight. I am so excited, you have no idea. I have always been too young to see a Guy Ritchie film in the cinema because like I'm only 27, always really too young, and obviously Aladdin does not count because that is not a proper Guy Ritchie film. So I thought I would quickly do a little update in the car. I am currently somewhere between pages 120 and 160, somewhere around that of my book. The book is about maybe 400 pages, just under, so I'm probably about 20%, 30 in, which yeah, very happy about. I want to use this last week of January just as a real kind of push to try and get as much of this book read, because once I hit February, I think it's probably going to go back down to like my side read, not my main read. So yeah, I want to use this time in January just to really power through. But I am really enjoying it. It is interesting, this world where yeah, love just doesn't exist. It is this disease, and I like the idea that you can't have it until you're a specific age, especially with the fact of teenagers are the hormonal ones. They feel emotions and they feel love on such a different scale, and it's the things the government do to prevent, like, you know, intermingling, you know, that's forbidden. There's a curfew, you can only hang out with some of the opposite sex if they're cured. It's stuff like that that's really interesting. Our main character Lena, she is currently at a point where she's realizing potentially that her friend is a sympathizer, or maybe she's doubting their way of life, and she just really wants to experience everything before the cure happens, because she's fed up of constantly being surveillanced and having to watch their backs all the time and being told that this is the right way to live. And it's things like, it's very much like the film Equilibrium. So there's, you know, there's approved music and films and books that they can read. So it is really interesting. It's very teenagey in the way it's written, which I'm struggling with, but it is a really good book. So yeah, so right now I am just waiting for Gavin to get his butt back in here. Weekend wise, obviously we went to go and see Bad Boys. Pretty good film actually. I think it was far more funnier than the first one. Not that I have much memory of it. I think we have established that I think I've seen the first two. They seemed a little bit more serious in tone, whereas this one seems so much more funnier and sillier. And I actually think I not prefer it, but I think because it is now at a point where it is such over-the-top action and ridiculous just stunts and fight scenes, it being comedic really suited the tone and just worked really well. I think if they tried to take it seriously, I think it just would have seemed really like just not right. So I'm very excited for The Gentleman. I would probably say I'd give Bad Boys maybe a 7, because I went in with no expectations, went in with very little memory of the actual film itself. So for the rest of the week, I've got a few things on. I'm going to Brighton tomorrow to meet up with Tash, so I will get some more reading done then. So I probably won't check in tomorrow because I will literally be like dashing home, changing and getting a train. Wednesday will be my usual, so I will edit this vlog, so I will check in one last time. And then Thursday I'm going to Brighton again, I do believe, so that's going to be just a really nice added extra push to try and get as much as I can done with Delirium. That will be wonderful, and yeah, we will see. But I'm really hoping that I will get well over halfway, and kind of seeing how much I've been reading on my lunch breaks, that should be possible. I think I've been managing to read maybe just under 40 pages each time. Just depends, you know, if people talk to me and kind of what I'm having for lunch, and if I have to like get up and cook stuff and whatnot. So I think we're doing quite well. So yeah, those 2 trips to Brighton I think will really help. So I will check back in with you Wednesday. I hope you had a great weekend, and actually I may check in actually afterwards to get Gavin's thoughts on the films. We'll see. He sometimes likes to do this with me, sometimes doesn't. Can I just say before I start this, The Gentleman was amazing. It is probably the best thing I have seen Hugh Grant do, apart from the political thing that he did on BBC where he played this politician who slept with this young gay guy, and yeah, all hell broke loose basically. I can very happily and finally say that I have seen myself like a proper like Guy Ritchie film, what he is known for in the cinema. I can die happy. So book wise, can I just say I was so surprised when I picked up my book today at work and realized how far I got on. So I am currently sitting on page 172 of, because being prepared would be helpful, of 393. So yeah, I'm suddenly ridiculously far in. I don't know when or how this happened. Clearly I read so much more than I thought on the train yesterday and at work yesterday. I picked it up and I was like, wait, what? Like, how am I suddenly so far in? When did this happen? Not to say I'm obsessed with this book, that's probably a bit strong, but I am loving it so much more than I thought I would. Oh my goodness, yeah, just the whole idea of it is just really good. Like I said, the writing style just isn't to my liking. Maybe if I'd read it when I was a teen, I might have liked it more. It is so good, and I'm really enjoying everything about it. The whole system that has been set up and the brainwashing of it all, and just this crippling fear that Lena has with everything is just amazing. Stuff kind of plot wise is starting to happen. I feel like this is definitely setting up for another book, really, but either way I am enjoying it, even though there hasn't been anything massively like happening in the plot. It's just been all of it, and it is just Lena living this life and sort of deciding. I don't want to give away spoils. I mean, obviously it is an obvious thing of where it's going to like come from, that everything she's ever known is going to be questioned and stuff, and believing in what the government tells you to believe in is suddenly everything is just thrown into doubt. And I think this is the problem, and I feel like they probably need even more rules and regulations, because you can't stop teenagers who have these feelings. They are naturally going to want to rebel. It is a hard thing. I think they're just very lucky that they can sort of squash them. And I think this is what I meant when I was thinking that I wish this was like a third or fourth generation, because I think the fear would be so instilled in them, and they would know less about the world before it happened, because Lena's generation is now the mandatory generation, whereas her parents weren't. It's one of these weird things. I like the fact that they still know what life was like before the cure was mandatory, but at the same time part of me wishes it wasn't. So Trish, if you're watching this, we need to meet up soon, because I need to borrow the rest of your books, because I'm enjoying this way more than I thought I would. So there is obviously a very good chance now that I'm actually probably going to finish this book very quickly. I should be going to Brighton again on Thursday, so hopefully I can power through another chunk of it, because like I said, I wanted to use this week just to really hammer through as much as I could, as next week I want to focus on reading something else once they hit February, because I wasn't sure really what I was going to think about this, and I have another book instead that I really want to read. So that is it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. My hair is actually insane. I'm getting it cut next week, thank God, because I don't know, I like it long, but part of me is like, actually maybe you should keep it short. We'll see. Maybe I'll just get a trim, or maybe we'll cut it all off again. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to hit that like button. It means the world to me, and of course hit me up in the comments below about absolutely anything. If you're new, subscribe and hit that bell and never miss a video. I will see you on Monday for my January wrap up and my February TBR.